What's the address to your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. It's there's a little bit boy being attacked by two dogs.
Are they in front of your house?
No, and I can't go near him because.
Listen, I'm not asking you to.
Oh my God! Please hurry.
Okay, how old does he look?
How old is he? This boy is being attacked by a dog. The only other option I have is to go get my.
Listen to me. How old does he look?
He's like 12, I think the other boy says.
Does he know the dogs?
No, and they're literally tugging on him. Please hurry. He's not moving. I'm like a few feet away.
Who's not moving?
The boy that is being attacked. He was screaming for help, and I pinned him down on the ground, and they're like biting him, but he's not moving and he's not responding. I'm on the phone with 911.
Who was that screaming?
Another neighbor. We're trying to help him. Yes, ma'am. He's not responding. Mom is on top of him. You know what I'm done? Okay, there's another neighbor who's got a bat or something.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How far out are they?
They are driving as quickly as they can. They are driving with lights and sirens.
If I shoot them, am I going to get in trouble? Sure, he's covered in blood. Mom is standing right next to him. I don't know. What? He's not breathing. Oh my God. He's not breathing. Do you not see the air? No. I can't see the air.
Okay, I know this is the last thing that you're thinking about, but where are the dogs?
They're in the road. And I'm telling you right now, I do have my firearm on them. I will shoot. It's a pit bull. One is gray. The other one is black and white. They attacked somebody. They attacked somebody. Go! Here they come. They're coming right now. They are not secure. No.
No, is your firearm secure?
My firearm is secure. It is in my hand.
Okay.
You stay right there right now, baby. I know you do, baby. Just stay right there. There's another kid here who...
Is that his brother?
No, I don't think so. Where... Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. His sister is with me. Come here. I know that's your brother, baby. I know, baby. I know. What the hell? Where's your home live, baby? It's like a green house like that. It's like right here. It's like what? Come down here.
Are they with him?
Yes, there's paramedics here. Ambulance is pulled in. Mom is here. Sister is here.
Is law enforcement there as well?
I'm sorry?
Is law enforcement there as well?
Yes, law enforcement is, I'm not sure where he went, but he was trying to control something with the dog. Michael got attacked by dogs. Is that your dad? Do you want me to talk to him so he can understand?
That's okay. Listen, I can go ahead and let you go.
On a sunny afternoon in Balua County, the laughter of children echoed through the neighborhood. Michael Millay, an adventure.
It is the 5th annual Remember Them. Normally I call it Remember, the 6th of November. What I think calling this day or these days Remember Them is more impactful. There's a lot I want to share, and usually I only do this on November the 6th, but with so much I want to share, Originally, I thought I would do a two-parter, but it looks like I'm gonna be doing a three-parter because there is a lot that I want to share, because this day, or these days, not just these days, but this week, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, is about remembering the victims of dog attacks, of those that have been attacked, killed, from babies to adults to elderly, who are being terrorized in the neighborhood, who have been chased by dogs, living with dogs, and they dread it. This day is about remembering the victims. I, too, was a victim. I have been chased and terrorized by dogs in my neighborhood. And unlike the victims, the infants, the toddlers, the preschoolers, who are not here today, I am, and at least I can actually use my voice. Use my voice to fight and to hope for a dog-free society and put an end to this dog culture, this pit bull culture. Because this thing has been going on for far too long. It is only this dog culture that is allowed to remain after the so many senseless, meaningless deaths that do not have to happen, that didn't have to happen. But they did, only because these dog nutters, the dog industry, dog owners, they continue to place these dogs in our neighborhoods, in our homes, and day after day, all around the world, someone, a child, a baby, an adult, an elderly, innocent people are getting killed, attacked, terrorized, left with trauma because of these dogs and this dog culture. Since I have a voice, it is only reasonable that I use it to fight against this horrendous dog culture. I, for one, have always hated dogs. Always hated them. Even though I watched a lot of cartoons and TV shows and movies that I liked that had dogs. And I thought, hey, the dogs were cool. But in reality, I still hated dogs. And the truth be told, today dogs are being pushed in the cartoons and the TVs and the movies more than they ever have. And this is why, and that is why a lot of children are being conditioned and brainwashed by this dog culture. That is why so many babies and children have been killed. Because the dog culture, the media, the politicians, you name it, have been pushing this dog culture, this pit bull culture, on the masses. Not just in America, not just in Canada, but this is a worldwide phenomenon that is killing thousands, if not millions of people every day, every year. But anyways, welcome to the 5th annual Remember Them. I know the dates are kind of wrong, but this is going to be from November 4th, 5th, and 6th. And after that, I'm going to take another hiatus because there's still a lot of projects that I have to do. But nevertheless, I gotta shine the light on this dog culture. Because dog culture, man, it is that thing that is kept in the dark. But yet, it is devouring cities. It is devouring regions. It's devouring countries. It's devouring life. And for no reason whatsoever.
2 family dogs.
This happened at a home in Brenham, and his parents have a warning they think all parents should hear.
So sad. And yet these were dogs that the family was careful around. Even though 5-year-old Mason had spent plenty of time with the animals, they were kept at arm's length. But still, the worst happened. We can't show you what his face looks like today as he fights for his life at Children's Memorial Hermit. Mason's parents say that last Friday he was at his grandmother's house when her 2 pit bulls attacked. Mason's dad found him in the backyard.
And Mason was laying on the ground. I seen his face, and I just broke down. I thought he was pretty much gone until my baby said, "Daddy." And I looked down and I was like, "Oh, you're still with me, baby. Keep fighting, keep fighting, because Daddy's here."
Mason was airlifted to the med center. He's already had 3 surgeries and will need many more.
He's missing his left ear, half of his right, most of his eyelid. He's missing his top upper lip.
This should not be happening.
They were put down immediately.
But he had played with these dogs from pretty much birth almost, so it was not expected. These were family dogs. Stay alert. You can't trust a family animal because they're animals.
The family is asking for prayers tonight. Now, Mason has been sedated since he's been here, and he's expected to be in the hospital for a while now.
Do you know Miss Pryor's dog?
Yes, it's a pit bull, and it has brown and white spots, and its name is Snickers.
Is anybody with him?
No.
Where is he?
He's usually standing under the stairs. Sometimes, like, when we walk up the stairs, he'll be under there, and then he'll, like, growl at us and stuff like that.
What? For what?
Does your dog have to wear a muzzle now?
Now she does, yeah.
How old are your children, Miss Pryor?
8, 7, 6, and 2.
How much does your 2-year-old weigh?
35, 40 pounds.
This dog can do a lot of damage. I would be super careful.
A family is devastated. The Scott Broom report.
And they are never careful. In this story,
On the 2 dogs.
a dog mauls an intruder.
It's credited with attacking an intruder in their home.
Attacks and kills an
Since
intruder.
our story aired last night, Coweta County Animal Control and the Sheriff's Office has been flooded with phone calls and emails from people worried about the welfare of the dogs. Fox 5's Doug Evans has the update.
They only care about the dogs. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure this probably doesn't happen when it's the dog attacking and killing a child. People are not flooding and worrying about the child. They're still worried about the dog. Because that's what dog nutters do.
The story has made headlines around the country. 2 dogs killing an intruder in their Coweta County home. Many have hailed the dogs as heroes and have expressed outrage that they were locked up afterwards. Those 2 dogs remain at Coweta County's Animal Control. What we've learned is that is standard procedure for any dog bite case in the county, mainly to determine if the dogs have rabies. It's a 10-day quarantine. Coweta County Animal Control says they've been in contact with the owner, who says the dogs will be going home with him at the end of the quarantine period next week. Fox 5 first broke the story of the 2 dogs who authorities say mauled an intruder to a home here last Friday. The homeowner returned to the house on Walt Sanders Road and found the man dead on the front porch. Investigators say there was evidence that he had been inside the home when attacked. The dogs had been locked up inside when the homeowner had left. On social media across the country, many people expressed outrage that the dogs had been locked up at the animal shelter and their future seemed uncertain. Both Coweta County Animal Control and the Sheriff's Office says they were flooded with calls and emails expressing concern for the dogs. The Sheriff's Office released a statement Thursday saying they have no holds on the dogs because of their investigation and that the dogs were free to be released after the mandatory 10-day quarantine period. The dead man has been identified as 21-year-old Alex Abraham.
We heard this story before.
How he got to the home, his motive for entering, remain a mystery. Doug Evans, Fox 5 News. And
the reason why I brought this up is because depending on where you live, what state or province, country you live in, it's very blurry. Again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, so it's hard for me to objectively explain, what can happen in these types of instances. But there are some laws and rules, and depending on where you are, is when an intruder enters or burglarizes your home, you basically can't harm or hurt or kill the intruder, and if you do, you could actually be sent to jail or prison for that. So when I heard this story, it reminded me of, what about why is there more leniency when dogs, in this story, why is there more lenience for these dogs who kill an intruder and basically get away with it? But when you knowingly are protecting your home and you harm or maybe kill that intruder, you as a human could be sent to prison and jail for that. And it's very blurry though, and I'm pretty sure some people get away with it. Some get slapped on the wrist. Some get locked up in prison, but it's very blurry. They say in lethal force only justified if you're facing a threat to your life or serious bodily harm and have no other option. So if someone enters your home, basically you can't really do anything. And if you decide to use any lethal force or whatever you use, maybe a bat, and you hit him and the guy dies, you can probably be sent to prison for that. Use of weapons, especially guns, is more difficult to justify as being reasonable in Canadian law, even on your own property. However, the use of a weapon or gun to defend yourself can be used to defend yourself from a threat or assault in certain circumstances. For example, if a person is threatening you with a knife or gun, you may be able to defend yourself by using a knife or gun. So if this intruder does not have a knife or gun, and you decide to shoot them, you can still be in trouble. But the thing is, these dogs in general, can get away with killing someone that enters their owner's property, and they'll be, set free. But you as humans, who can make conscious decisions to defend your property, to defend your family, to defend yourself, and you harm and somehow the intruder dies, you can be sent to prison or jail for that. So it's just, again, dogs are protected and they're able to get away with anything and everything. The Criminal Code provides some guidance in this area that states that a person cannot be found guilty of an offense if they believe a reasonable grounds that the force was about to be used against them or another person. They that committed the action as a way of defending or protecting themselves or others used of the force, and the act committed was reasonable in circumstance. So again, it's very blurry, and it's not very objective. And even if you follow these guidelines or these codes, the judge may say something totally different. So again, dogs are able to get away with anything and everything because they're protected in this dog nut society, which is not just a Western thing. This whole dog nut society is a worldwide thing. Now it's in India, it's in Australia, it's in Denmark, it's all over the world. There is dog propaganda. And speaking of Denmark requires every child aged 6 to 16 to take a weekly empathy class that includes being kind to animals. And what they really mean is kind to dogs. Kind to dogs. When dogs are not even animals. They are brain damaged mutants. And I believe that. I want to see if this is really true. It's every child empathy class. Pretty much. But this is about pushing the dog agenda. This is about pushing the dog agenda onto children so they too can be dog nutters and continue this ongoing dog nutting cycle. I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say. But nevertheless. So with this being Remember Them, the 5th annual Remember Them, where we remember the victims of dog attacks. It's really hard to find a database of attack victims. It's really hard. You really have to search Google one by one and remember attack victims if you want to share it. And there are so many out there. Whether it's on Google, whether it's on Reddit, whether it's on YouTube, there is so many out there. So many stories of dogs attacking and or killing people and or children. And unfortunately, I can't remember every name. But if I read an article and I can remember the story and what kind of happened, I'll remember. But I can't remember every name. But we can still remember the victims of dog attacks. This is the dog bite statistics of 2025 by breed, bites, attacks, and more, though. Probably the best thing I could actually find on here. I know there's that site pitbull.bite.org, something like that, but it has not been updated since last year, December. And we know that they have been attacking all year round since the get-go of this year began. But this site has not updated their stats, unfortunately. But anyways, the most breed to attack more is the pit bull with 284, outweighing everyone. And one of the most popular excuses that these dog nuts or pit bull nutters use is blame the owner. So one thing I like to say though, if pit bulls are a leading cause or the leading dog breed of deaths and or attacks, then it is safe to say that pit bulls attract a lot of bad owners. And we can probably say based on this, hey, if you adopt a boxer, you're probably a good owner. If you adopt a husky, you are probably a good owner. Or, I mean, even though this is a lot, but it's better than 284. But if you adopt or buy a pit bull and, it kills someone, you are just a bad owner, basically. But we all know all dogs are bad. All dogs are dangerous. But the reality is that the pit bull or these bully breeds attack way more and kill way, way more. The victim had there's a lot of stats here, but I'm not going through all that today in this video. We're going to continue with this video.
Reports a 2-year-old boy is dead. His grandmother says he was attacked by the family dog.
The family involved in this dog attack tragedy is willing to talk to us and share with you a picture of the little boy, but they asked us not to broadcast his name, and we're going to honor that. The dog is a 145-pound Mastiff Pit mix rescue named Cash, who's lived with the family for 5 years, Russell said. Police and the family said during goodbyes and hugs in Russell's bedroom, Cash, the dog, grabbed the child without warning and would not let go. Children had been with the dog all afternoon, family members said.
That dog and the children have played together so often.
Yes. Yes.
Any sign at all?
No, I have 2 older grandchildren that he's practically, he's grown up with and he's never bothered them. Never.
Here's Brunswick Police Chief Kevin Grunwell.
No issues with the dog at all. The family sent a picture of the dog last week, again with the same child, and the child's kissing the dog. So, they have a history together. Like you said, they played together all day. We're just unsure why it happened.
Grunwell said 2 of his officers were first to the house and found the child alive and breathing, but despite immediate efforts to save the boy and a helicopter ride to Frederick Hospital, the boy died.
The dog has blood dripping from his mouth. It looks like he has eaten a bar of soap. He is bloody. He is growling, and I'm scared, and you need to wait for the authorities. Probably within 20 minutes, then Mr. Rickard.
What were your dogs doing out? What were your dogs doing out?
My daughter accidentally left the door.
That can't happen.
I understand.
That can't happen.
Her dog.
You have dangerous dogs.
No, ma'am, they're not.
Yes, they are. Read newspapers. Go on Google. Read about it. Do you read?
Yes, I do.
Read about it. If you choose to have 2 pit bulls, you are responsible for any damage that they do to other animals or to human beings when they get let out, on purpose or accidentally. Do we understand each other? Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand me? You choose to have dogs that can cause serious damage, that have killed children, that have maimed adults, that have killed adults. You choose to maintain those dogs as pets. That's your prerogative. You want to put yourself and your children in that position. This country allows you to do that. This country, however, does not allow you to visit your stupidity on others. Do I make myself clear? Clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
A family's pit bull mauls a 13-month-old boy inside their Granite Bay home. The attack being called unprovoked tonight.
Shortly after 3, Placer County Sheriff's deputies responded after a pit bull fatally attacked a 13-month-old boy.
Deputies responded to the scene. The relative that was watching the child was able to get the child away from the dog.
Neighbors gathered on the street trying to figure out what was going on. It was later in the afternoon they heard the tragic news. The toddler was no match for the 6-year-old female pit bull.
The baby was taken to the Roosevelt Hospital where it passed away.
The pit bull is now quarantined with Placer County Animal Control. Detectives say their preliminary investigation points to an accident.
There doesn't appear to be any neglect. There does not appear to be any anything that provoked the dog. It was just it was a horrific circumstance that had occurred.
Family here trying to pick up the pieces and just regroup after this tragedy. Guys?
The details are just horrific. Rob, thanks so much for your live report tonight. So when it comes to fatal dog attacks, pit bulls were involved in 72% of all incidents. 83% of those pit bull attacks happened inside the home. 42% of the victims were children under the age of 6.
If you have a big...
So this time, we will remember, this happened last year.
Are investigating after a little girl, just a year and a half, is killed after an apparent pit bull attack. It happened last night in Newark. The girl was taken to University Hospital where authorities say she died following that attack. Stay with News 12 for updates on this developing story.
Baby was only 18 months old. So these pit bulls, they do not care how old you are. You can be 2, 18 months. You can be less than 1 year old. You can be an infant. You could have been a week old, a day old. They don't care. They're going to maul you. This is nothing new. Nothing new under the sun. A pit bull mauling a baby. Just like that. Again. It happens so often. And these things, dog nuts, pit nutters, they're allowed to remain in our society. It makes no sense. How many more infants do we need to lose? And I've always said these attacks have been happening since the 1800s, probably longer than that. 1800s, these attacks have been happening. And for over, 200 years or so, they've been saying, blame the owner, blame the owner. Since the 1800s, you're still saying that? And if you cannot see what the problem is, then you are a part of the problem. You are definitely part of the problem. Again, more victims here, whether they have lived or not. Many of these victims, innocent, babies, elderly. Some just walking on the sidewalk, riding their bike, gardening on their own property. And here comes a pit bull invading onto their property to attack and kill them while they're just gardening. These things went onto their property to attack. This lady, these people who were doing their own stuff on their property were not looking for no trouble. And these things come onto their property and attack and kill them. These things will sneak into the child's bed and attack and kill. You mind your own business, you get attacked and killed. Your face gets disfigured. One of these like analogies like I like to use is like no one is planning on these attacks. Imagine these children wake up in the morning, they have plans for their day or for the week or for the summer. Hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to a party. I'm going to go play this sport. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for these games. They're excited. They have no plans to get attacked by no dog. All it takes is them to step out. Not even step out, could be the dog inside their home. All they have to do is sneeze, do nothing. And these things can attack you and end your life. Destroy your limbs. And now the things you want to do, you can't do it anymore. And it's not just the physical pain, the emotional, the spiritual, the mental pain, the scars that you have to live with your whole entire life. And what do? They continue to push these dogs. Again and again, it's the same outcome. It's been going on since the 1800s, guys. 1800s, little babies have been dying by these dogs. The same exact dog since the very beginning. And they all want to say is blame the owner. How about these medical costs, man? Oh my goodness. Jeez. Claims related to dog bites and other dog-related injuries up from over 800 million. 800 million because of dog injuries. Oh, I'm fed up, man. Man, I'm angry. I'm angry because again, I've been there. I've been there, man. Not physically, but I've been there. There's been so many close calls. And I remember one time, you know, a field trip. And the teacher brought his dog on the field trip. And my whole day was ruined. My whole day was ruined. It was like maybe grade 3. My whole day was ruined, and since then, it's like I've hated dogs because they ruined my whole day. I hated dogs because of this. Hated them for ruining my day, for making me feel so unpleasant. And it was justified because years later now I can really see how vile these dogs are.
In Hollywood. Only on 6, we're showing you video of that attack, and you'll also hear from the dog's owner about how he tried to stop it. NBC6's Valerie Ryan has the story, but we do want to warn you, the video may be disturbing to watch.
Video shows what appears to be a young girl coming home from school when her mother catches a glimpse of the neighbor's dog. Oh my God. It appears the two try to run out of the home's complex when the neighbor's pit bull rips himself from his chain and attacks the 8-year-old girl. You can see the dog launch at the girl, police say biting her face. The man you see trying to rip the pit bull off of her is the dog's owner.
What about that supervision, eh? And they always say, oh, make sure the dog is supervised.
He says he got hurt in the process.
Dog was on
inside the ear.
The dog was leashed up, chained up, plus supervision by the owner, and this girl was still attacked.
His teeth got in the ear because I'm trying to hold her, but he's trying to get to her. Yeah, I think he really got me in the below the elbow. And when I fell down the stairs, I hurt my leg and my head.
He didn't want to show his face, but did share that he's disabled and a veteran. And the 5-year-old pit bull is protective of him, but never like this.
That was totally out of character.
He says his dog and neighbor have met before.
The dog slipped out while I tried to help her out. And I asked them, don't move. They didn't move. The dog didn't do anything. But the screaming agitated the dog.
He says regardless of the why, he feels terrible a child had to experience something so traumatic. He's now surrendering the dog to a shelter.
I believe he's just being protective, but I can't take that chance anymore.
All she did was walk down the stairs. So this thing was protective of someone walking downstairs. So it decided to attack, to kill because they walked away. Natural animals don't do that. They tend to scare off predators or intruders, and most times they won't even try to attack. They will let them flee and leave. May show signs of aggression and all that, and that's usually how it stops. But with these dogs, these brain damage mutants, whether you stand still or run or whatever, they will still attack you. And they will say it was because of protecting. And it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. It is by far ridiculous. Dog owners really not do owners really not smell their dogs? Stopped by a friend's house this weekend. She has one enormous Great Dane type dog. The smell was absolutely eye-watering. I couldn't stand in her hall for more than a few minutes. My friend is clean, her house is nice, and I have no reason to doubt her sanity. But wow, I just can't believe you can be nose blind to the purebred, rancid, gammy, musky, stinky emanating from dogs. I literally work with dead bodies. I've smelled everything. I'm not nose blind. While I accept the foul smell associated with my job, I would never tolerate such smells in my clothes, house, or car. These smells are not an acquired taste. They are big, fat alarm bells that humans have evolved sensitive to in order to avoid eating or touching rancid, rotten things. The only way you could literally not have a gag reflex to such odors would be if you're brain damaged, Maybe I have answered my own question. And I think it's because these dog nuts are so used to it. And also is because they don't want to have any guilt or any not a speck of negativity about dogs or their dogs in particular, so much that they're willing to ignore things like smells. They'll ignore aggression. They'll ignore ignoring behavior of dogs. They'll ignore it just to not, throw any guilt or any negativity toward their dog or dogs in general. So I think it's all about, it's just this cognitive dissonance. It's about being brainwashed. It's about blocking things out. It's just about being ignorant, just so you or they can continue in their, we'll call it like a guilty pleasure. It's like a drug. Drugs are bad. It's messing you up, but you still do it because it still makes you feel good. And the same thing can be used against dog culture. It's a garbage. Dogs are garbage, but yet you still, want to live with them. You still want to be around them because these worthless demons, ugly things make you feel good in some way or capacity. But deep down, the behavior and what they do is just disgusting. But you put up with anyways. And not just that, it's the social aspect. It's the cult aspects. And when it comes to cults and groups and socialization, things like that, you want to fit in, you want to be accepted, you want to follow these unwritten rules, you want to follow these rules just to continue to be a dog nutter. So you're willing enough to sacrifice intelligence. You're going to sacrifice your own integrity. You're going to sacrifice your own well-being just to make dogs look good and to make other dog owners and dog nutters look at you as a good dog nutter, if that makes sense. They asked in Reddit, are dogs getting worse? As a kid, I do not remember dogs being so intrusive. You would go to someone's house that had a dog, it would greet you, and that was the end of it. We had 2 German border collies growing up, and remember them being loyal, well-behaved. Mostly quiet. It seems like every dog you see now is whining, whimpering, anxious, clingy, annoying mess of an animal. Okay. That or they're aggressive, and the owner is in denial of how dangerous the dog is to have around. Kind of what I just said. They will ignore anything negative about a dog. I've been to people's houses recently where I was legitimately expecting to be attacked by the dog. They'll say ridiculous things, just move slowly. Do not make eye contact. Oh, Lord. But God forbid you put the thing outside or lock it up while you have people over. what is the point of having these things if they have lost all their benefits and positives, okay? They used to do a job, and that's how they earn their place in our world, okay? Now they're just a burden, so much to a point that shelters are full of unwanted dogs because we read and trained the usefulness out of them. I highly disagree with a lot of things this person has said, but dogs are not getting worse. Dogs have always been the same since the very beginning. They're annoying, they're dangerous, they're disgusting, they're filthy. Always have been the same. The only thing different now compared to then is that society, the media, has been pushing more dogs onto society more than ever. And we could say, oh, it's because it's a business. We can say because it's brainwashing. We could say so many things. But the truth is, they're pushing this dog propaganda on the people, on the children. They're lying, manipulating things. They're giving people who are in no way fit or qualified to even own a dog, own dogs. Like, they will let elderly, people who are 80 years old, adopt and own a pit bull. They will let the most dumbest dog nutters own a dog. They'll let the most, thuggish, gangsterish, druggied up people own a dog. And they don't really, they just want dogs. They want the money. There's the money aspect of it, yes. But they just want to continue to push this dog nuttery on society. I fully don't understand why. But the fact remains is that they are pushing dogs more than ever. And it's no different than back then and now. There's really not much of a difference, other than it's being pushed more. The dog nuttery is being pushed more. Man gets his scalp ripped off after being attacked by 7 dogs during a walk. And like I said, all you could be doing is just walking, minding your own business, and you're attacked. You're attacked. It doesn't matter if you're on your own property or not. Public property. Like these things do not belong in our society because they're hurting people. And that's not okay. 81-year-old is currently staving off infection. All right, and facing possible amputation after 7 dogs attacked him about a month ago, according to his family. The owner of the dogs are facing criminal charges. Boy remains in critical condition after a month since the attack. The attorney says he's facing amputation of his arm, of his leg, in order to stop the infection that is out of control. So dogs are poisonous, dogs are toxic, they're dangerous. And this is what they do to people. This is only an 84-year-old. And that's why we are remembering those that are young and old. It's not just adults. It's just not one demographic that is being attacked and mauled by these dogs. All demographics are being attacked by these dogs. That's why we remember them. When we remember these victims, there's a chance of stopping this propaganda from, getting any bigger or out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 5th year of Remember Them. Remember the victims, young, old, those that have died still with us, those that have been injured, amputated. We remember them.
Pit bull, sir, you make sure it doesn't get loose, because instead of attacking the dog, it could have attacked one of the children that was playing in the front.
Any child. It's around children. I have 2 babies at the house.
You know how many times I read about that in the paper?
Not this time.
You want to know how many times I read about that in the paper?
I trained my dog.
How many times all these people have read about that and have heard the same stupid remark? It's the first time it ever did it. Never did it. It's around my grandchildren. I let it babysit for my niece.
This is a photo of Pun the pit bull and 2-year-old Edward, but things took a very scary turn for the worse today at the family's Anita Road home in Johnston when the pit bull attacked the child.
Dallas police say 2-month-old Braden Wilson was attacked by the family's pet. The child's father went outside to turn on the sprinkler system. When he walked back in, he found the pit bull mauling the baby in a bouncy chair. As the father tried to get the baby away from the dog, the baby's mother walked in. The dog bit her twice. The father grabbed the dog by the neck, dragged it outside, and shot it twice. Braden died at a hospital.
Family tells me it's mourning the loss of 2 family members, the baby, Kamiko, and the pet pit bull, Mana, who has been part of the family for years.
Wait, they're mourning the loss of their baby and the killer. Okay.
And over this statement, I have no words to explain my pain. But she shared photos of her 6-month-old daughter, Kamiko, considered a joyful addition to the mother from Kaneohe, who now lives in Las Vegas. The family tells me while Kamiko was in her walker, the mother went to the bathroom. When she came back, Mana, the pet pit bull, was biting the baby. Kamiko was taken to the hospital and later died. I'm told Mana was part of the family for 9 years, had never done this before, and is considered a good family dog. The family is blindsided by the attack. What could have triggered it?
Most dogs realize the baby is something special in the home. In this situation, I have no idea what happened, but it could be something like that, a sharp noise, a loud noise, because it scared the dog.
The family who lives here says they've had the 12-year-old pit bull since it was a puppy.
Three dogs killed a mushroom picker, biting him 53 times, say prosecutors. Prosecutors said a man could be charged with causing grievous bodily harm resulting in death, a crime punishable by up to life imprisonment. The incident occurred on Sunday, October the 12th, around midday. The victim, a 46-year-old truck driver identified only by his first name, Marcin, had stopped by a mandatory break at a rest stop. During the pause, he decided to collect mushrooms in the nearby forest. After long afterward, he called emergency number 112, reporting that dogs had attacked him. Police and paramedics reached the scene and soon found the man, rushing him to the university hospital. He suffered from at least 53 bites and lacerations, wounds around his arm, legs, and torso. He was also severely hypothermic and required several extensive operations. Unfortunately, he died 3 days later. He had no plans of being attacked by a dog. He was wanting to pick mushrooms. And he was attacked for no reason. We don't see this type of behavior from any other natural animal. And I'm not calling dogs natural animals, but we only see this behavior with dogs. You minding your own business and you're getting attacked. Mind your own business and you get attacked. Bop it, twist it, pull it, pass it.
Here recently, with everything going on, I have started grieving. I have cried every night.
The mother of a baby killed by a pit bull explaining her demeanor after the baby's death as her sister reveals details about the day the baby died.
When we were in the hospital, Alyssa just kept talking about how she wanted to go get high instead of the fact that her son had just died.
But the judge doesn't buy into the excuses.
You have no remorse for this, or you at least shown no remorse.
I have the dramatic sentencing of Alyssa Smith for the death of her son Royal and the plot twist that no one saw coming.
These pit nutters, dog nuts, are vile. It was over 24 minutes long, so I'm not going to go any further, but nevertheless, dog nutters, pit nutters, they are vile people. They are vile, vile, vile. Vile people, man. They should not be trusted. They should be treated like the filth that they want to be treated. Because they're the ones that got filthy dogs, dangerous dogs. So treat them like filth that they are. Because that's how they want to be treated. They're getting little babies killed For what? For what reason? Nothing whatsoever. But they do. But this type of behavior happens every day all around the world. And for what? Because these dog nuts, pit nutters, they don't think. They may think that they think, but they don't think at all. They don't think. They don't think. If they did think, we would not be in this problem. Dog nutters do not think whatsoever. They don't. If they did, why are we always, every day, in situations like this? Why get a dog? Period. Because they don't think. They just do it because they've been brainwashed and they're just stupid.
Towards other dogs, let's look at it in slow motion. So first we see that these dogs are all going for the neck and face of this German Shepherd. They don't respond to corrections and they're all going after him at once. They grip, they hold on, they're persistent, and when they're taken away, they go right back to the shepherd. They also aren't going after each other, they're going after the target. This is unusual behavior in puppies. Obviously, these are game-bred pit bulls that are bred to be aggressive towards other dogs. And what I think is most interesting is that this shepherd is starting to fight back and these puppies don't care. Unfortunately, some people are breeding dogs for dog fighting and to have this behavior. And sometimes these dogs end up in animal rescues and they get adopted out. And these are the dogs that you see that get out of a house and maul another dog, and people can't stop them because they're so driven due to their genetics.
After a psychologically battering dental that left me massively relieved and thankful that my never mind. I thought it was just about them, having a change of mind, but apparently they're also dog nutters.
Need money for a rainy day?
See? Dog propaganda.
Without impacting your credit score.
These things are in commercials, in almost every commercial where they're not necessary for. It's dog propaganda. Gosh. Not much to see there, but typical. That's every day. Every day that's happening, all around the world, even in places where they're banned. It's still happening.
I haven't said anything here since Monday because Monday my husband and I stopped at a Love's truck stop in North Baltimore, Ohio. And I took our dog out, which is this dog right here. What? And when I brought him back in, he went to attack this little dog, and my husband jumped out of the bunk. He was half asleep and decided to jump on the dog, and the dog turned around and attacked my husband. And the dog tore his muscle.
So this guy was attacked by his own pit bull. And he's still laying in bed with this worthless mutt and also with the same dog that attacked him. Whether it's in a cage or not, he's in bed with the same dog that attacked him. This guy is a certified dog nutter.
In half, the tendons and everything. And so he just today got out of the hospital. Today is Thursday. But the reason why I'm on here is not for sympathy. The reason why I'm on here is to talk to you all about what happened while I was at the Lowe's truck stop. I was absolutely petrified because my husband was losing a lot of blood. And he was turning gray, and he was sweating and kept passing out. The ambulance was on its way, but I did not know what else to do, so I got out of the truck and I ran up to another trucker and asked for help. And all he could do was point me to go inside to the Loves, and then he started videoing everything. He stood outside and videoed everything, but didn't help me. That, to me, makes absolutely no sense. So, to that trucker who did that, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. This man almost died. Thanks, guys, for listening.
This guy is a certified dog nutter. 10-year-old girl from Crawford, I think Atlanta, after attacked by 2 pit bulls while she was checking the mail. She required 2 surgeries and 38 stitches after being bitten multiple times on the leg. Boston Avery was checking the mail last Monday morning when her family's dog followed her outside. 2 other dogs approached her, and one of them attacked her in front yard of her home on the lane in Crawford. I kept on beating the dog and kept biting me harder and harder. I kept turning its head, trying to twist off my leg off. Boston was bitten multiple times on the leg and required surgery and stitches. Her father, Chris Avery, said the families first saw the 2 dogs the night before the attack on their back porch. The next morning, the attack occurred while Boston's small dog got out and prompted the incident. Dogs put down. Boston's mother said the 2 dogs have since been put down after being deemed vicious and deadly. So basically, you have to wait till someone is killed and or attacked very badly for these things to be deemed vicious and deadly. So you gotta wait till someone basically dies. Unfortunately, this person lives, but usually, most times, you have to wait for someone to die in order for that pit bull to be deemed vicious or dangerous. That's the society, dognut society that we live in. Pit nutter defending her dog, which then hospitalized her 4 months later. It's all how you raise them. So this was earlier. She says, don't demonize entire breed because people are ignorant and can't handle the breed. I have a pit bull and I'm a responsible owner. But you don't address the person, just the breed. I hope the man is okay, but your comments are unsettling. And we fast forward the next year. Oh dear God, please intervene as only you can. I was brutally mauled by my own pit bull I had for 10 years since it was a puppy on October the 9th. I felt life slipping away from me, and as I was airlifted to the trauma center in New Jersey, I prayed so hard and God answered, do not lose hope. These are the dumbass dog nutters, pit nutters that we have living in our society. They talk like this, then once it happens, they want to talk like that. Why don't you just, wake up from the get-go and just not own these things, period. Stop defending them. I'm probably not allowed to show them. That's all I'm going to show. That's all I'm going to show. We have a pit nutter getting, let's say, it's getting kissed, getting loved and hugged and kissed by its worthless mutt. I think that's all I'll do for this video as a first parter, but nevertheless, this week, November the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, is about remembering the victims that have been attacked, killed, terrorized by these dogs, young or old, from around the world. When we forget, we become just like the dog culture, where they are ignorant to dog attacks, ignorant to dog nutters, to dog owners, ignorant to the filth of this dog culture. And that's why it continues to demolish and to kill and destroy lives all around the world. From those who are gardening, walking, sleeping, minding their own business, they're all being attacked by dogs for no reason whatsoever. And in the end, like always, dogs in general, pit bulls, bully breed, they're defended and pushed more and more on society. We just read an article that, or on an article on Reddit, or a post on Reddit, asking, are dogs getting worse? And no, dogs are not getting worse. They've been the same since the very beginning of their existence. The only thing different is that they're being pushed way more through the media, through the cartoons, to the TV, to the movies, to the ads, you name it. To therapy dogs, emotional support dogs, you name it. They're being pushed. You don't even have to look for any dog propaganda. All you got to do nowadays is step out and you're going to see a lot of dog propaganda. Dogs on ads, people walking their nasty dogs, you name it. People with dog shirts and all this dog nonsense being pushed on the children, being pushed in your eyes. And the reason why it's being pushed so much because people are quiet. They're ignorant to the reality of this dog culture. And this dog culture isn't sweet, it isn't nice, it isn't peaceful. No, it is full of blood, wickedness, death, terrorism. It's full with trauma, anything negative. All things that are negative comes with these dogs. Anywhere there are dogs, there is going to be a problem. People are going to die. People are going to get hurt when dogs are involved. And it is always only when it involves dogs. All the other natural animals, any other pets, we're fine with that. I'm not saying they're perfect or they're never going to attack. Attacks do happen with other animals, but not so much when you look at dogs. With dogs, it is every day around the world where it's happening. Every day. From you just walking on a public street, getting attacked on your own property, attacked in a park, attacked. Whether you're a child, elderly, a natural animal, you're being attacked and terrorized by these dogs. This isn't happening with cats. I'm sure street cats, whatever, they probably do attack humans now and then, but it's not so severe. It's not as common. People can walk by over probably 1,000 cats and never get attacked, and these cats will run and mind their own business. You walk by one dog, these things attacks you. You feed this dog for its whole life and you give it love and hugs and kisses. Next thing you know, 10 years later, it attacks you. This only happens with dogs. Dogs. Always only with dogs. So much time with dogs. Again, I'm not saying other animals, other pets don't attack. I'm pretty sure it does happen, but it's not as common. It is not as everyday like with dogs. People don't have cat delivery week or cat postal worker week or cat bite postal worker week or cat bite awareness months, cat bite awareness weeks. That is only with dogs. And in Denmark, they want some empathy thing, but it's about dogs. It's about pushing dogs. They're going to say animals. They're going to say pets. But really, it's about pushing dog propaganda on the children, on people in general. Years ago, I watched a lot of movies, and particularly superhero movies. You never really seen any dogs in these movies. And all of a sudden now there are dogs in so much superhero movies now. So many dogs being represented in all these cartoons now. Lilo and Stitch. I have a theory that Stitch is really a representation of a dog. Because it looks like one of those pan-faced dogs. The way it behaves with its tongue out and it's annoying and it causes trouble, that is a dog. All these cartoons with dogs being annoying and so wanting to attack anything and everything. Dogs. It's all about pushing this dog narrative. It's always dogs being looked at as so negative, annoying, evil, bad, misbehaving. Dogs. All other animals, they're usually, 9 times out of 10, they're usually cool, respectable. But dogs are always annoying in these movies. Dogs are always so annoying and ugly and hideous and creepy in these movies. Even in the fictional world, these dog nutters fail to make these dogs likable. They still have to make these dogs as annoying as in real life. Make these dogs hideous as in real life. When you see all these dogs or representations of dogs, these things always have their tongue out. They look wacky and crazy. With their googly eyes, their cross eyes all over the place. But with other animals, they look normal and fine. But with dogs, they always look stupid, dirty, filthy. They look dumb. They look crazy. Tongue always sticking out. That's disgusting. No one wants to see anyone's tongue. But somehow with dogs, it's acceptable. Every other animal, they keep their mouth shut. Of course, maybe now and then they'll have their tongue out, their mouth open. But more times than not, they'll keep their mouth shut. But with dogs' mouths are always open. Tongue is always out. Even in the fictional world, they always have these dogs with their mouths open, tongue out. Man, I'm just so fed up with this dog culture. Fed up with it. Because it is taking lives of a lot of victims, a lot of young, a lot of old. People who had no plans of dying, are being killed by dogs. And we live, so many people in general, people in general with dogs, they're in the dark regarding dogs. They all think, I don't want to say they all think, but they all look at dogs as innocent. A lot of them probably don't own dogs, but they don't have any hatred towards them. When dogs should be hated. Because when you hate dogs, when you're scared of dogs, you become more aware, you become more alert, you become more protective, more prepared. It's like the guy that went into the mushroom forest or whatever to pick mushroom. He probably knew nothing about dogs, did not know the stats, the attack stats about dogs. Probably had no knowledge. Probably had no knowledge of how filthy their owners are, how obnoxious dogs are in general. Probably knew nothing about the bully breed culture, knew nothing about that. So a lot of people in general are in the dark about dogs. They don't hate dogs, they don't fear dogs, and I think that's a problem. They don't remember victims of dog attacks. That is a problem. But when you hate dogs, you have a fear of dogs, and you remember the victims, that helps you stay away from dogs. That helps you be alert, be ready, and prepared for what may or may not happen with these dogs. A lot of people are unprepared. They walk into these parks and forests or whatever. They go for hikes. They're not prepared for dogs. They don't think dogs can attack them. That's why you always should be strapped with some weapon. Not because of people, but because of dogs. Have some kind of weapon on you because of dogs. Have the Roscoe. Have Mr. and Mrs. Roscoe with you. Have a bat, a knife. Something is better than nothing. But always be prepared and vigilant. Better yet, I don't want to say, hey, don't go for walks in parks or whatnot. But if you're going to do so, you got to be aware of dogs that might be there. Loose dog, bully breed dogs. You got to be aware of you might be attacked. It might happen. Because we've heard stories again and again. This dog has never showed any sign of aggression. Oh, the dog has been kissing, my son for many years and we've never seen any aggression. And then boom, it happens just like that. Just like that. So you don't ever know when these things are going to attack. They just do at these most random times. Because we're so comfortable and ignorant regarding dogs. Anyways, this is part 1 of Remember Them, the 5th annual Remember Them. We'll be back with part 2 tomorrow, then part 3 on the 6th. And after that, I'm going to take another hiatus. I got to do other things, and I'll be back again to shine the light on this worthless dog culture. Thank you for joining me.
It's Okay to Hate Dogs Productions. See you later. Doggy Hater.